this is my niche that I found that is it lets me be myself as well as I can take care of my kids and getting them to laugh and making sure they explore the magic.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Let's Take a Ride. This time, stay-at-home version. In the mix of this coronavirus, COVID-19, our heart and thoughts goes to everybody who's suffering from this tough virus. On the other hand, today we have a special guest, somebody who is making everybody's hard time or tough time better, making them smile, making them dance. So he's been viral on social media. He's been featured in multiple TV shows, and we have the honor today to have him with us. And that's my special friend, Tony Adkins. How you doing, Tony?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing great. I just got off of work. That's why I'm still in my scrubs. And thank you for having me. You know, it's an honor to be here today.
All right. Thank you very much, Tony, for being here with us. You know, it's we feel humbled to be here with somebody who has such a busy schedule and has a lot going on. You know, again, thank you very much for doing this with us. Mm-hmm. So, Tony, how all this dancing and how all this happened? You know, like how this got started.
Yeah. So, all got started way back, probably like 2 years ago when I had a kid that I was taking care of. He beat childhood leukemia, and he had childhood leukemia at an early age, like 5 or 6. And then later on in life, probably like 6 years after that, when he was like 11 or 12, he started having a lot of different neurological things that caused us to get involved. So we went through a bunch of different surgeries with him, and then one hospital stay when he was in the hospital for quite a long time. I would see him every day, and I would see the glow of childhood start to seep out of his eyes. So you can see people, and they're starting to go down a dark path. So, I thought to myself, I was like, I'm just going to turn on some music and see what happens. I'm gonna start dancing, and if he gets up, it'll be a positive for both of us, because I love dancing, I love music. So I turned on some music. His mom got he got up, he started dancing. His mom filmed it, and then it just went on social media from there. But to go back where it kind of all really began is when I was a little kid. I grew up in South Central Los Angeles, in the rough parts of LA. And my brothers were all involved in gangs, and my mom was a single mom. So I used to listen to music and look at music videos, and that kind of helped me escape. So I used to, pretend like I was in those videos and, doing all these things, and I was just dancing all the time. And that helped me as a little kid. So then as I grew up, I learned to not really watch TV, but just listen to music. And then when I saw my patient that one day, I automatically thought back to when I was a little kid. This helped me a lot. So then that's when I started using it, and it's been a huge success since then.
Oh, wow. So was dancing something that you wanted to do, or do you know that you wanted to be a doctor? How do you get into the medical field?
Yeah, so, I always knew I wanted to be a doctor.
Okay.
As a little kid, we grow up and we want to be 4 different things. We either want to be a fireman, a police officer, a teacher, or a doctor. And when I was a little kid, I was like, I want to be a doctor. But, as I started going through all the different steps of, grade school, I kind of forgot about it. But once I got into the military after I graduated from high school, that's when it kind of revitalized of, what do I want to do for the rest of my life and be happy and not feel like I'm working. And that's when I thought I want to become a physician. So it took me forever to get to where I'm at right now, because in grade school, when I went to school out in Malibu, Pacific Palisades, I wasn't really challenged. I was the class clown, so that's why I like making people laugh now, but I get paid to do it now. but I was a class clown, and I was in the classes which are considered remedial classes. So because there's special ed classes, and then there's remedial classes, and then there's normal classes, and then there's honor classes, and then there's something further up. I don't even know what it is. But I was in remedial classes. So when I graduated, I didn't know what to do, and I went off to the military. Then when I came back, I wanted to become a physician, but then I had to start from junior college. And I did junior college forever. Usually it's like 2 years. I did a total of 6 years in junior college at Santa Monica Community College, as well as West LA Community College. And then I transferred out. And once I transferred out, then it just kept on going from there, from UC Riverside. I did my bachelor's in neuroscience, and then I went to Loma Linda, did a master's in public health, focusing on both health and epidemiology. So I was a disease investigator for CDC for a year before I got into PA school and went off to University of Washington. But it's been a long road.
So that's a lot of schooling. So if you can add them all up, how many years of schooling do you have?
Oh my goodness. So after I graduated from high school back in 94, I started junior college in 95, and I graduated in 2012 from University of Washington. But in between there, in around September 11th, 2001 to 2003, I was deployed in the military. So I have at least about 12 years of school. So basically I did first grade all the way to 12th grade all over again to get where I'm at.
Oh, wow. But at the end of the day, our journey is the beautiful part of what we do is the journey. I'm pretty sure there's nothing you want to change from that.
No, not at all. Because it made me who I am. We think that we have to hurry up and get to where we need to get to, or we're not going to be able to do it. No, for me, I put it into my head that this is what I'm going to do, and nothing's going to stop me. And out of a lot of my friends that I started off at community college with, I'm pretty much almost the only one that actually graduated from university and working in what I told myself I was going to do in the beginning.
Wow. Very, very inspirational. So now let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you something. Is there any proof that dancing helps your patients get better?
Yes. So, there are numerous documentations on pet therapy, as well as, different type of laughing and how laughing kind of heals the body. So the concept behind that is something called endorphins. Endorphins is a molecule that's released from your brain that binds to something called a mu receptor. And the mu receptor stimulates the brain to cause it to have something called euphoria. So you feel happy and you're laughing and you feel nothing is going to bother you. So that's the same area that happens when people are laughing, people are petting dogs, people are seeing something funny on TV and they feel great, as well as when you're taking heavy narcotics like Dilaudid, morphine, Norco. All these medications bind to that mu receptor to give you that euphoria. So that is the science behind that whole concept. So for me, when I'm dancing with my patients, it's releasing endorphins for myself because I see a lot of bad things that happen every day. And it releases endorphins for the patient, their families. And then when it goes online, everybody across the world, they all release these endorphins and they feel great. And they make certain comments saying, oh, I love this. I was having a bad day. Now I'm having a good day. So all these different things have not been studied by the dancing that I do, but from all the other portions of the dancing, as far as laughing, as far as looking at something and it makes you feel good when you're watching TV and you're looking at my dances on social media and it makes you feel good. So all that part goes along with scientific studies of why people love love stories, why people love action movies, all these different things.
Okay. Wow. It's awesome. So I'm pretty sure a lot of the parents, they're very grateful, to have somebody treating their kids or, or their family, somebody like you, because whenever, honestly, I love the medical field, but whenever we talk about going to the doctor, is not for something very positive most of the time, so now you're bringing the positiveness into the matters. It's really cool to have the chance to, to have the chance to enjoy and see it from a different lens, a different scope,
Yeah.
So
Agree.
Digging into your past, I also learned that you used to do like house parties on Mondays, right?
Yeah. How did you know that?
I do my job. I have to do my job.
Okay. Yeah, you open up the closet. Like, get that out of here. Yes, I used to throw parties every Monday night. It was the best thing ever, and there I used to just dance all the time. Me and my good friend, we were like brothers, Howard. And we used to start the party off, because nobody would get on, when you're there early because you work there and nobody really is getting on the dance floor just yet. So him and I and another guy named Eric, we used to go on the dance floor and just start dancing and just making up different dances. And then people soon, somebody hear their best song, and then everybody started rushing onto the dance floor. But we used to just start the party because we just had a good time, and we just enjoyed just being there and listening to music. And oh my goodness, it was the best time of my life as far as being in my teenage years, able to just experience something, just being in a club and listening to music because I love music so much.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I'm pretty sure it was a side gig, where you had the chance to make some money, huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so you're a businessman on the side.
A little bit. I dabble.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I like that. That's very remarkable because it makes everybody understand that, sometimes you're in one position today, but you don't know where you're going to be tomorrow. And life is not a straight line. Sometimes you have to go through a lot of curves, a lot of hills and valleys, and you're here today, so that's very, that's very cool that you had the chance to go from the military, 12 years of schooling. You had the chance to do your little business with the clubbing and stuff like that, or the parties. And, now you're here, so it's really cool. So, and you're 41?
43.
43, looking 28.
Yeah, exactly. A little few grays are starting to sprout out. It's the quarantine gray.
So I wanna segue a little bit into the coronavirus. So you're, again, I'm very grateful to have the chance to talk to you. Thank you for your service, because I know that you're also you work in the ER.
Yes.
So you're a frontliner, if you will. So how's the experience of, somebody working the ER dealing with this pandemic?
So, it's pretty stressful sometimes once you go into your shift. But it's a lot of is uncertainty. You want to make sure you're protected at all times. And then when you are protected, you got to make sure you're taking off your dirty gowns that you put on, because you go into a COVID positive room. You want to make sure you take off your gowns the right way so you don't cross-contaminate. So those are the things that you have to worry about. And you know how to do all these things because you've been doing this before COVID-19 started. So you just have to make sure you don't get, so relaxed that you forget certain things. And those are things that can get us as medical providers, where we get so relaxed because we're treating COVID-19 patients all the time that we forget to do one thing. And that one thing can cause us as providers to get infected. So it's, you realize the importance of taking care of yourself, as well as, always double check and triple check the things that you do, because you don't want to bring anything home. And just like I did, one of those little videos, which I labeled as Decontamination Dad. It was where my daughters, threw soap on me. My other daughter was spraying me down with Lysol. And it was just a funny depiction of how, we as healthcare providers, we have our rituals of once we get off of work, these are the things that we need to do to make sure we don't bring this stuff home.
I see. That's a good protocol, if you will.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So now, have you seen a decrease on the times this past few weeks as far as like the cases, or have you seen like where we at right now? Since you're a frontliner, and a lot of us, we just see the news, but you are the one in the trenches fighting every single day. How do you see, like, can you project how far along are we from this?
So it all depends on, how people are staying away from others. And right now it's a lot of the problem with us in the US, where we're so entitled to do things on our own, and you can't tell me where to go or who I can't see because I'm not in jail. That's people that are incarcerated, or somebody that's admitted in the hospital and they can't leave their room or go off the floor. But a lot of us tend to feel that, I can't stay in this house another minute. I just need to go outside real quick, go run, go to the store. And those are the times where you can infect others if you're infected. So one person can infect up to 20 to 30 people in a matter of minutes if you're infected. So, you think that one person comes in with symptoms and we check that person, and then we call public health and tell them, this person is infected. So then it's the job of the public health officer, the epidemiologist, to do a study on them to see where have they been within the last 48 to 24 hours or even longer, because you're shedding virus as you're fever and sick. You're shedding all this virus and you're out there in the public spewing it everywhere, touching everything, and then somebody else walks by and touches it, touch their face, and then they get infected. Then they go somewhere else and touch something, touch their face, and then it infects more people. So right now we're still at the low end, and we haven't seen the big end yet, just like New York is starting to see the big end. So it's more than what we as individuals or human beings within a population can understand. Different countries, if you go outside, some of the police and the military are given the order to shoot at you to get you to go back in your home, or if you don't go in your home, they will shoot to kill you. And those are orders that are given down by different type of governments, not democratic governments, but governments that are authoritarian governments. So it's totally different in America, where we're entitled to a lot of different things. And nobody can tell somebody that's strong-headed that they can't go out. And we expect that all of our healthcare workers are all healthy. It'll be a bad situation if a healthcare worker has to go to work and they're not healthy, and then they start spreading it throughout the hospital. So that scenario may not ever happen, but I'm pretty sure it can happen But as far as the person that is infected and now coming into our hospital, we don't know where they've been. We don't know who's touched them in their home. If they were self-quarantined and somebody that was quarantined with them was in the home with them and touched them, and then they went out to go to the store to go get stuff. So this is more than what people think it is. And if we decide to go out in about a week, it's not going to be gone. It's just going to have it's going to have a bigger curve. So you have to think of all the different scenarios. And that's what public health officers are thinking of, all those different scenarios.
Oh, wow. Wow. And you actually touched a really good point over there, because we are in the land of the free. And this situation has every single person and self-imprisonment, where we're all quarantined, where we're not allowed to go nowhere. It gets difficult for some people, So, but now my question will go, if it's up to you, if you're the decision maker, if you're the person who called the shots, what would you do different to allow this to decrease and to pretty much like to tackle it and to have the chance to get to CNN,
Yeah. So when I was in public health, when I was an epidemiologist, and I was tracking avian influenza all across the world, it was mostly secluded in Southeast Asia. And so we had at that time a pandemic alarm system that will tell us if this is going to come across to over here. And so we stopped a lot of different entry as far as poultry and checking people at that time. And then we had the swine influenza that broke out. So then they kind of curtailed that too. So a lot of what's going on could have been kind of maintained long time ago. But unfortunately, the pandemic folks that were a part of the previous administration got let go because they didn't feel that they were necessary for government. And that's where it should have started. Right now, we're just following along and catching up and trying to improvise based off of what's happening and all the numbers that keep coming every day. So when you start talking about what would you do now, it's too late. What would you have done before was have an implementation of a pandemic body that kind of tracks different infection diseases all across the world and try to keep it secluded in that part of the world and don't allow anybody that is from that part to travel out into the different areas.
All right, let's see. So we are pretty much in the middle of the water, just swimming, if you will. But we, as you said, we should have done something better to not let it go as far as we are right now. But it's not like you live through pandemics every single day. So this is something that got every single person off base. But now we're learning, and we're gonna come stronger. We're gonna do better things. We're gonna have a stronger system. So I'm very grateful that people like you, and all the frontliners are out there, dealing with this situation, sacrificing their own lives, their families' lives, and making this happen. So wrapping up, I want you to address, everybody who's watching this, as far as what advice do you give to people who are, suffering, not just suffering, but to all of us, we're in the mix of this coronavirus, any advice that you have to give to anybody watching this?
Yeah. So, it's hard to put a concrete reason behind, why should I stay in the house? I'm healthy. You know, everybody says it only goes for the old and the people that have things like diabetes, hypertension, or overweight, but I'm healthy, I'm thin, I eat good food and all this type of stuff. So, and a lot of people feel that this is a hoax, that, you know, government is doing this for something else. You know, you get a lot of things that are like just kind of spewed out there. And I wish I can video the ICU and see the different forms of life, you know, big, small, tall, you know, young, old, that have a tube down their throat because now they can't breathe. This virus it's, you know, true, flu kills a lot of people, and it kills a lot of old and the frail. But this virus is totally different. You know, this virus takes away a portion of inside your lungs, and you can't get all these fluids out of your lungs. So then you get pneumonia, and then these people die of basically suffocation. And it's hard to kind of have something tangible, the reason why we say stay at home. So, and unless you have a loved one that you are taking care of that are frail, then people will say, I need to stay home, and everybody else stay away from us. Unless you know somebody personally that has passed away from this, then you'll never really grasp, you know, the importance of what the public health, what medical community is trying to let you know, that this is real, it's serious. And that's unfortunate because of, you know, us in this country, we have become so desensitized to a lot of different things. So we have to really think hard of why we're doing this. And this is not, it doesn't have a age bracket. It doesn't have anything to it. You're either gonna get infected and have mild symptoms, no symptoms at all, or you have the full-on symptoms. And it doesn't matter what age and what is your health. You know, true, if you have really poor health, you're gonna get the worst. But there's some people that are very healthy and they passed away. You know, we had a 17-year-old kid in LA that passed away, and he was healthy on Sunday and passed away on Wednesday. So, you know, these are things that you hear, but we have to really think hard. You know, this is something that we have to do, and it's for the greater good for everybody. And we have to do it. And that's plain and simple. You know, you have to figure out a way to entertain yourself. You know, go outside, open up the window, you know, sniff some air or something. I don't know, but you have to figure out a way to not get to that point where it's like, I can't take it anymore. I'm going out and I'm just going to go somewhere and then I'll be back. Because you may go somewhere, touch something that somebody else has touched, and then you come right back and give it to everybody else.
Wow. So stay at home, y'all.
Yeah.
Stay at home. This is no game. This is real. Protect yourself, protect your family. So I'll have one more question to finalize everything. You know, you're a person who came from the inner cities. Now you have the opportunity to be working as a PA, doing all these different things. You took a different route, you know. So there's a lot of people that you're pretty much changing the narrative. Mm-hmm. So, and that's something that I really like, you know, because I'm Hispanic, I'm Afro-Latino. So you had you had a really hard upbringing, if you will, you know, with your brothers in and out of prison. Grab this time and talk to those young guys that are out there, you know, and, you know, motivate them, inspire them, and have the chance just to talk to them directly and tell them, you know, something, because I'm pretty sure you're not the only person who had that past and you made it out of it. there's a lot of people right now, they're struggling from that right now. And if you have a chance to talk to them and inspire them, what will you tell them?
So, the number one thing is that, when when I was getting interviewed a while ago, they would always ask me, make sure you try to tell us who is your role model. And then I had a hard time trying to grasp that because I never really had a role model. My role models were not the role models that everybody else was thinking of, Magic Johnson, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan. I didn't have those role models. My role models were my brothers and my dad. So my brothers of what not to do as far as getting into gangs. My dad, what not to be as a father once I had my own kids. So these were my negative role models that caused me to do positive. And I took those and just kept going. And I was like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be struggling like my mom had to struggle to raise me and my brothers. And I just kept going. And I just felt like Forrest Gump. I just kept going. I didn't know where I was going, but I just kept going. And I wasn't going to let anything around me stop me. And I wasn't going to listen to any of the outside noise of everybody let's do drugs, let's drink, let's go, do some gang stuff, and I was like, I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to focus on trying to make sure I don't be in the same situation that my mom was in, trying to pay bills just at the right time to make sure the lights didn't cut off, or lights cut off and then call them in the morning and have them turned back on. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make sure I keep going because somebody is pushing me. Somebody died for me to be here and I wasn't going to stop it. And the other portion is, making sure that, we have these phones and Siri can tell us how to get anywhere. And so, my Siri told me to go left and then go right and then turn around, go the other direction. Oh, you're going the wrong way, go this way. But there's a lot of people that use Siri and they know exactly how to get from here to Hollywood Sign within 20 minutes. I got from here to Hollywood Sign within 12 hours or 12 years. So it's not about how fast you get there, is how you get there and what was your experience to get you there. Those are the things that make you as an individual, and people will gravitate towards you and always be a positive aspect on life. Life is a beautiful thing and life is delicate. Take every piece of time that is given to you every day and keep going forward. And that's how I live my life every day. At the end of my emails, there's a saying on there from Irma Ballback. It states that at the end of my life, I hope I will not have a single bit of talent yet left so I can say I used everything you gave me.
Oof, wow. That one was powerful. So you want to make sure that you exhaust every single resource. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's awesome. Tony, for me, it has been an honor and a pleasure to have the chance just to chat with you, get to know you, make this just two dudes talking through Zoom. And for me, it has been very special, getting to know your story. I've seen you all over the place, and now getting to know you, who your story and who you are. It's remarkable, man. I know that this time you're gonna inspire a lot of people. You've been inspiring a lot of people, but for those that don't know you, now they will. So how they can find you, like if somebody's watching this, how they can find you in social media?
Yeah, so you can either go on Instagram, which is it'll be T_Malone, MALONE and number 3. So T_Malone 3, or you can go on Facebook, and it'll be Tony Adkins page.
All right, perfect. Tony, once again, thank you very much. Hey everybody, thank you for watching. If you like this video, just make sure you subscribe. And there's more cool videos over here if you want to keep watching.